What's happening, guys? Welcome back to Vertical Football. Welcome back to another episode of 5 Things to Learn. Manchester United 3, Aston Villa 1. Guys, let's jump right into it. A fantastic game. Well-deserved 3 points, I must say. Well-deserved. And I'm very, very happy about the result because of we knew the weaknesses of Aston Villa and we were able to capitalize on those weaknesses. So, guys, a lot of things to talk about. Let's jump right into it quickly. So the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about the things that we did very well in this game. And also we'll talk about the things that we need to improve upon, right? Because there were things in this game that we need to improve upon. So the first thing that we did well was the fact that we have clearly understood and clearly profiled the Aston Villa team under Unai Emery. And I think it's not even just now. Even the time of Eddie Ten Hag, right? We know Aston Villa and their eye-line situation. I think it's something that we've known very well. And at Old Trafford, we've always seen a situation whereby we know that we can hurt them in terms of balls behind the eye line, a player at the shoulder of the defender to catch them. And I think that Matheus Cunha's goal, that second goal was just an example, a perfect example of how we've mastered that art with a Bruno Fernandes, which I knew when I said in a community group that was going to be fantastic against Aston Villa because he knows how to play those passes at the right moment with the right weight to capitalize on that their eye line. And it's just remaining the other players to understand how to lash on to the ball when the ball comes. Because obviously, Bruno and Marcus Rashford had that understanding against Aston Villa. But today, I'm happy that Matheus Cunha was very, very sharp in that moment to capitalize on it. And I felt that we tried it many times in the first half to get that situation, to capitalize on the eye line. But, in football, you try many times, and when you get it once, you get your goal. And I'm happy that we got the goal. The second thing I want to say that I was very happy about was the fact that Casemiro was fantastic. And Bruno and Casemiro already showing us that we are beginning to gain, and not just even Casemiro alone, but in recent times Casemiro, but we are beginning to see that we are beginning to gain that area dominance in terms of crosses, in terms of corners. And I think that's a very, very good thing. I think that's one of the tenets you need to have in your game. And I felt for years we didn't really have that dominant in our game, but we are beginning to see in recent games more often than not. I think Aston Villa's game came from a ball in to Casemiro from Bruno, scored, and today again we got that first goal. So it shows that we are really beginning to show that dominance in that area, and I think that's a very, very good thing. Every top team that wants to go far must also have that in their locker, and I think we have that in our locker today. So third point that I felt, let me also praise Bruno Fernandes. Bruno Fernandes was fantastic. I think every day I can't come out to say this continually that I'm happy we did not sell Bruno Fernandes. And I've said it, if I was the owner, he has to retire in the club. I can't keep repeating it every time because Bruno would always perform. Bruno will always show us his. Then lastly, on the things we did well that I was also very happy about was the fact of Benjamin Sesko. I think I keep saying it. I said it last time. I was able to come here to say, and I'm saying it today. If I keep praising Benjamin Sesko every game, I will keep praising him. Yes, I understand there was a chance towards the end that did not bury, but I'm telling you, this guy's career is beginning to take the necessary lift. And I'm very happy that for 2 years prior, before he came to United, I've said this guy is the United striker for a long time. And this guy is going to prove it year after year. We will continue to give him all the support because this guy is amazing. And let me also say this, for people that will not say, super sub, I do not see that guy as a super sub. Maybe in this moment, but the fact is, if we create the number of chances we create in the later part of the game, if we were able to create that same number of chances in the earlier part of the game, this guy will still score if he starts. So I just believe that guy is more than a super sub. So let's stop that narrative. This guy is taking the necessary step in the trajectory, and it should not be limited to a super sub. Really, it shouldn't be limited to a super sub. So guys, and also I've been hearing discussions about don't change your winning team. The fact is, if you need a super sub, it wasn't a super sub today, Benjamin Sesko, but if you need a super sub in other games to always score for you to win, or score for you to get your 3 points, or score for you to increase your lead, right? I don't think the team that was playing there cannot be qualified as a winning team. The winning team is a Cesco involved. And I know, yes, different opponents. Today, I understand the fact that it couldn't have started because of the eye line of Aston Villa. But I want to say this, that I believe and I hope that his number of games, the number of minutes he has to begin to increase, the more we begin to be more dominant in terms of our play and create more chances in the earlier part of the game. So let's go to things that I believe that we need to improve upon. First and foremost, And we did not start well in the first half. Our intensity was not there. Our coordination was not there in the first half. But in the second half, right from the first minutes of the second half, I saw that energy, I saw that desire, and I saw the movement. I saw how we overloaded the box of the opponent, how players came out, and I think I had 5 or 6 players at a certain point. And I was like, I saw the movement of players more sharper, and I was like, yeah, something has been told to them in the dressing room, and we're going to see a better second half. And it was good that we got 3 goals in that second half, which I'm really, really happy about. Also, I believe our high press was nothing to write home about today. Aston Villa is not a good side in terms of how they play currently, in terms of building up, but they had it easy against us. So I think these are things that I believe that whoever is going to be the next manager, if it's Michael Carrick, it's easy for him because he already sees this. We need to work on our high press. We need to work on it. Except we don't want to do high press. Against Newcastle, I complain about the fact that we were opened. Today again, at certain moments, whenever we tried the high press, we were opened. We need to work on it. I'm happy about the 3 points, don't get me wrong, but the fact is, we still have to talk about the things we need to get better because we want to keep getting this point. So we need to work really well on our high press. Our midfield has to get better. I think towards the end, the second half was a different ball game, but the first half, the midfield wasn't. We allowed people that were not up to our quality to have it easy against us again in the midfield, especially the first half. And I feel we need to work on it. Our build-up, I think our build-up first half, because first half was a different. The first half showed us some of the things we'll be seeing. Our build-up was slow. Our build-up it lacked initiative, and it just shows us that we need to find a way to get somebody that can deliver to us what Lisandro delivers to us in build-up. Maguire, fantastic defender, but I personally don't think Maguire offers the level of a Licha in build-up. And I think today shows that in terms of the build-up for us in the first half was monotonous. The build-up in the first half for us was just routine. There was no idea, there was no spark. The decision was always to play around the press of the opponent, or sometimes it was to Maguire to carry the ball and try to run. I felt we needed to have more plays. And I think maybe this is something that we have to work on. This is something, not that I feel, this is something we have to work on. Considering the injury situation of Martinez, we have to work on in the transfer window. We have to get a way to either train somebody that is inside to be very, very good on it, or get someone that can help us in that build-up situation, because we truly need it. We could have gotten a lot of chances in the first half if we went about things like the build-up better, if we went about the midfield play better, if we went about the chances creation or even the position in the first half of the forwards very, very better. So I felt that so these are the things I saw, but I think the second half was much better. I think the energy changed it. The energy changed it. The belief changed it. And I think we're beginning to say that we are having a clinical side, and that's very good that we're clinical, because you need to score goals. That's football. But I think also that as time goes on, we should add more to it in terms of create more opportunities for ourselves by building up right, pressing right, that's front foot press right, and even having more of coordination in our midfield. So guys, these are my opinions on this beautiful game. Manchester United 3, Aston Villa 1. Let me have your opinions on it. I know you have your own thoughts. Please drop in the comment section. Thank you for always being with us. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, and most importantly, don't forget to share. Until we see you next time. Bye.